help the fact that I was a murderer, no more than a poet can help the inspiration to sing.
Hey! Following my last video in where I talk about American Horror Story Hotel and its connections to the Cecil Hotel, now I want to talk about one of its characters. James March, played by Evan Peters, is the designer of the Hotel Cortez, and he got it built under very specific instructions, resulting in a deadly trap for his victims. This character is very likely to have been based on the real-life serial killer Dr. Henry Holmes. He was born in 1861 under the name of Herman Mudgett. He was from a wealthy family, and from a really early age, he showed his interest in medicine, especially in human anatomy and death. It is believed that he used to practice surgery on animals, and there's rumors saying that he even killed one of his childhood friends. He started early. In 1878, he married Clara Lovering, and they had a son. In 1882, he got into the University of Michigan to study medicine. He took a special interest in the anatomy class because that gave him access to the bodies in the laboratory. He used to steal bodies to practice his own surgery skills, and he would disfigure or even burn the bodies in order to dispose them in a way making it look as if it was an accidental death. He would then take that chance to take out the insurance policies from those people and claim the money once the bodies were discovered. Just before his graduation from university, his wife left him under numerous claims that he had been violent towards her. He moved to Philadelphia and got a job in a drugstore. Just after he started working there, a little boy died after taking some medication that was bought in that drugstore. Immediately, all eyes pointed at him. However, he denied having anything to do with the death of the little boy. He left Philadelphia shortly after this incident, though. In 1886, he moved to Chicago and officially changed his name to Dr. Holmes. He got a job in a pharmacy, and when the owner died, his widow took over the pharmacy. Rumor says that Holmes tried to convince the widow to sell the pharmacy to him, but when she wasn't willing to do so, she mysteriously disappeared. He claimed that she had moved to California and left the pharmacy to him. However, that was never confirmed. He then bought a plot of land that was right across the street from the pharmacy, and that's where he began the construction of what is known as the Murder Castle. He designed the building himself, and the official intention was to have some commercial spaces on the first floor and living apartments on the second floor. He was clever enough to hire different crews so that nobody had a clear idea of what was being built. The crews never got paid for their work, so they abandoned the project after suing him. In 1893, Chicago was the chosen city to host the World's Fair Columbian Exposition, a huge event that would attract millions of visitors. Just in time for the event, Holmes tricked new investors in order to get a third floor added to his castle with the intention of being a hotel space for visitors to stay. Some of those visitors never left. The murder castle was Holmes' perfect house of horrors. The second floor was the most disturbing floor of all of them. Hidden in between normal bedrooms, he had soundproof rooms with gas lines that only Holmes had control from his office to asphyxiate his victims whenever he wanted. There were mazes of hallways, doors that could be locked from the outside, doors leading to brick walls. There were peepholes in numerous places, torture chambers, stairways leading to nowhere, and hidden closets with sliding panels that open to secret passages. So once you enter the castle, chances were you wouldn't be able to leave. Holmes had his victims trapped in rooms with no doors or windows that could only be accessed by a trapdoor in the ceiling. And some of the rooms had slides leading all the way down to the basement, in where he had dissecting tables, surgery equipment, a crematorium, and some acid tanks. He would go down there to practice his surgery and experiments on the bodies of his victims. Sometimes he would sell body parts or skeletons in the black market or to medical students. And other times he would just simply cremate or dissolve the body. Holmes seduced women, and after securing their life savings, he killed them. It is also believed that he made all the people who worked at the murder castle, as well as the people who lived in the apartments, to take insurance policies with him as a beneficiary to make sure that he could claim the money after he killed them. Once the World's Fair ended, Holmes left Chicago and he traveled around the country committing more insurance policies frauds, as well as getting married, again, twice. While on the road, he associated with a man named Ben Pitesel, and they made a plan to fake Ben's death in order to collect the $10,000 out of Ben's life insurance policy. The thing is, before they could start implementing their plan, Holmes got put in prison for some other crime that he committed earlier on, so they had to put their plan on hold. When he was in jail, he met another con artist named Marion, and he agreed to help Holmes and Ben in exchange for some of the insurance money. When Holmes got out of prison, he went to Philadelphia looking for Ben, and when he found him, he killed him, as well as killing 3 out of his 5 children. In 1894, Marion was really angry because he hadn't received the money that Holmes promised him. So he went to the police and told them everything he knew about Holmes' scams. The police managed to arrest him in Boston just as he was getting ready to flee the country. In October 1895, he was sentenced to death for the murder of his accomplice Ben, and officially linked to another 9 murders. He then confessed to 27 more murders. However, the investigation, together with the missing people reports, suggests that he could have been responsible for at least 200 murders. The 7th of May in 1896, Dr. Henry Holmes was hung from the gallows. His neck didn't break, so he spent around 20 minutes suffocating until he died of strangulation. He was buried in Philadelphia in a coffin 3 meters underground, covered in a layer of concrete, as per his last wish, because he didn't want grave robbers to steal his body and do with him what he did to others. Murder Castle was consumed by a mysterious fire. It's been said that 2 people were seen entering the castle late that night when the fire happened. In 1938, what was left of the building was torn down, and today there's a post office building on that spot. As the last fun fact, James March in American Horror Story Hotel is supposed to have mentored some of the most famous America's serial killers, and he hosts his Devil's Night event once a year to reunite his students. From my point of view, this could very well be an analogy to Dr. Holmes, because he is considered to be the first serial killer in America. So in a way, the next generation of serial killers could have very well gotten inspiration from Dr. Holmes that makes him his mentor. And with this, my story is finished. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. Please do let me know in the comments what you think about it. Yes, I know, I would love to visit the Murder Castle as well, but unfortunately, we can't. Anyway, don't you forget, I will see you all next time.